Well, good morning. Chef Jeff here, and it's another marathon training day. And you read it right. Broken rib and still running. So today's my first day back on the trail here since I broke my rib. I broke my rib probably on Saturday, and it's crazy. I was with a bunch of guys hanging out, and a couple of us go out paddleboarding, and I was on a new paddleboard. Something I guess I've always been on a pretty stable paddleboard. Morning. And he's flying. I was on a mostly I've been on a stable paddleboard, and I took out one of my friend's paddleboards. It was a wooden one. It was pretty, and it was a lot less stable than the others. And so I must have fallen off that thing about 20 times in the course of a half a mile, which it was fun, but one time I fell and my rib cage hit the side of the board, and I'm pretty certain I've got at least a fracture, maybe a break in my right side here, and that is it's been hard to breathe. It's tough to breathe in deep, and can't lay on my right side. Anyways, these are the things, right? These are the things that happen to us, when we get older. Well, this wasn't necessarily because of being older, but when we're doing some sort of training, usually stuff happens, right? And this time it was a broken rib for me, and so I had another injury I was working through. I had inflammation in my SI joint for this training. I had a torn calf in another training, and the other torn calf in a different training, and these are the things that kind of can get you down and can stop you in your tracks if you let them. And I let it stop me in my tracks for a couple of days. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little depressed for a couple of days because I've been training so hard, and I feel like this was gonna hinder my training, and it is gonna hinder it a little bit, I think, at first. But I'm back out here. I just completed 2 miles, and I'm gonna continue. It hurts every step, and but by the time 2 miles got done, the pain was kind of numb, and I'm just gonna continue unless I have some sort of issue or like something crazy happening, and so maybe it'll make me stronger. I kind of started thinking about Cinderella Man this morning. If you've ever seen the movie, if you've not, it's a good movie. Cinderella Man, he breaks he's a boxer, and he breaks his hand. So then he's working on the docks, and he has to kind of compensate for it, which made his other hand really strong, and brought him back to stardom in the boxing world. And it's I don't know how. I know part of that story is true. I don't know how much of it is, but the movie's good, so you should try that out. And so maybe this will make me stronger, and maybe that's something we can think about. That sometimes our pain and our hurts, if we work through them, and don't lay around eating ice cream, which I did for 2 days. I was depressed. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of mad at myself. Just kind of in a low spot for a couple days, and I went to my go-to, a little peanut butter and ice cream. If you want to know what a chef's go-to is, peanut butter straight out of the jar. My wife hates it, and ice cream straight out of the carton. She hates that too. And but those two together, well, not the wife hating part, the peanut butter and ice cream. Those two together are a pretty good pair. And so here we are. I'm trying it again. I'm gonna get back to running, and you should too. Let's do this. So I got done with the run. I only did 6 miles today. That rib hurts, but I do think it's going to make me stronger in the end. At least I hope so. But I wanted to kind of give a little addition to today's video, because when I told you I was a little depressed and I was eating ice cream and peanut butter, you might laugh, or maybe that's a lot like what happens to you. And I'll tell you, I just want you to know the depth of the honesty here. Is yesterday morning, I woke up, the alarm went off at 5. I snoozed it. I dreaded getting out of bed yesterday morning. I was picturing running and picturing pain, and I didn't want to deal with it. So I got out of bed though, after a few snoozes on the alarm clock. Got out of bed, got dressed, put on my, running shoes, my shorts, of course my sweet and savory shirt, and I went to the front door and I grabbed my go bag. If you don't have a go bag, like your training bag, ready to go all the time, that's a tip I'll go through in a different video. But I grabbed my go bag and I stood by the door, getting shoes on, ready to go, and I just stared at it. I said, just walk out that door, Jeff. Just walk out that door. And the other part of me said, no. And I sat there stood there, I don't know, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, I'm not really sure. I remember kind of dozing out, kind of dozing off, zoning out. I was like, kind of shook myself off of it, and it was like, if I go back to bed now, I might get 30 minutes of sleep. That's not really worth it. Just go, Jeff. Just go. And I'm not gonna tell you I ran out that door and hooting and hollering. I set the bag back down, I took my shoes off, I took my socks off, and I went back to bed. And I didn't feel good about myself the rest of the day. And I don't want to beat myself up about it, and I want you to beat yourself up on a day like that. But I just tell you that because it happens. And you're not alone in that happening. But, the next day I'm out here running, and I'm doing it. And so that's what you got to do. Like, listen to a book, and there was the part I remember about it is if you're, start good habits you should do every day, and if you miss a day, make sure you don't miss 2 in a row. And I think that was Atomic Habits book that I read, and he was like, just don't miss 2 days in a row. And because 2 days turns into 3 days, turns into 5 days, turns into, you're disgusted with yourself sitting on a couch eating peanut butter and ice cream every day with about 100 more pounds sitting on top of you. And that's not where you want to go. So train hard, eat well. Check out the rest of my YouTube if you want to see some videos about cooking. And because when I go home, that's what I'm going to do this morning, is go home and make some eggs. I might video that for you, I might not, because it's just cooking some eggs. We'll see. But until next time.